rolled up and basically got within a mile of a massive wedge. Big tornado in there. Wow. Holy crap, dude.
Good morning, folks. It is Saturday, March 13th, 2021, my first chase of the year, and we're starting off with a bang. SPC has already put out a moderate risk. They started out last night with an enhanced risk. Now it is a moderate risk, mainly for the eastern half of the Texas Panhandle, basically straddling I-40. Our target is going to be the northern extent of that. I've got a logistical nightmare to deal with in terms of me have to report to work at 3 o'clock Sunday morning. So I've got to be in very, very early. Add to that, daylight savings time starts, so I'm already losing an hour. So it is about 7:30 here in Wichita. We have just loaded up the car behind me here. We are going to head out the door. We're going to make our way initially to Liberal, and then we'll kind of position from there. We'll probably get to Liberal, I'm guessing, about 11 o'clock or so, and that will give us plenty of time to kind of get set up in the Panhandle. Hopefully, we'll work our way back with the storms as we go through the over afternoon-ish times, which will allow us to kind of saw off some of the driving. I would like to basically turn tail by the time we get to sunset. Is basically going to be my cutoff, unless I'm on something just insane at that point, which is not out of the question. Big risks today are going to be large hail, maybe tennis ball size or bigger, and then, of course, the tornado threat, which usually in a moderate risk means strong tornadoes are possible. They put that 15% hatched up in the latest outlook about an hour or so ago. So going to be a big day. It's a Saturday. I think it's spring break for a lot of folks that may or may not be in school. It's going to be a circus out there for a March day for sure. So a lot of logistical nightmares, like I said, to deal with today. But we're going to head on out the door. If you guys, we're going to head on out the door. If you guys like what you're seeing, like and subscribe here. This is going to be the first episode, and we're going to start off with a bang. Be anxious to see what the day holds in store for us. So let's hit the road. All right, before we really hit the road, got an important matter to tend to. Figured since I'm leaving a little early, I can get away with this.
Thank you for choosing Starbucks. We're going to get started for you.
Yeah, can I get a grande white vanilla mocha, please?
Yeah, grande, white chocolate mocha, vanilla. Anything else?
That's going to do it.
All right, movie 586.
Thank you much.
Thank you.
Here's that white mocha.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good one. That's not a grande. That's a venti. Good morning to me. That can only be good, right? All right. Now we can head on out. Time to hit the road. Alrighty, folks, it is 1 o'clock. We are in Stratford, Texas. Taking a look at the latest goodies coming in here. Warm front is lifting north, as we expected it to be. A messy setup ongoing here. Already looking at radar. Line of storms has just developed over the last hour or two west of the Texas border into New Mexico, and that is a pretty linear mess. Those storms moving almost due north at the moment, with a hair bit of east. So not gonna pursue anything further to the west. I think I will stay on the Stratford to Dumas line at the moment here. Very interesting where the warm front is. Currently in Dumas, it is 40 over 40. You go to Borger, it is 62 over 57. That warm front basically bisecting Moore and Hutchinson counties to my south and southeast. So Dumas on the north side of the front, Borger, which I think on a line is about 10 miles south, and east of that, so the front is between there. So I am still north of the front, probably about a good 30 miles or so, and that's fine. Definitely think south of I-40 is going to be a good spot to be. I think that's going to be the more sure thing. Obviously, that's where the highest risk is at the moment. We'll make our move when we feel we need to make the move, whether that means we go south to Dumas. Like I said, I don't feel like I'm going to go any further west at this point, but I would not rule it out to Dumas. Even as far as Amarillo, again, if I-40 looks like it's going to be a thing, it really just depends. These storms that are forming in New Mexico have a very, very northerly trajectory instead of east. So once these storms evolve into supercells, expect them to be right turners. I still would think northeast or east-northeast will be the primary mode, or at least direction for those. Probably moving at a pretty good clip, 40 to 50. These storms are moving pretty good, the ones that are forming in eastern New Mexico. So that is where we are right now. Next time we catch up, hopefully we'll be on storms. So we'll see you this afternoon.
The National Weather Service has issued Tornado Watch number 20, effective until 9 p.m. Central Standard Time.
So the Tornado Watch was issued just before 2:30 that afternoon as I was southbound on US 287 heading toward Amarillo. Figuring because it was early enough in the afternoon, I had a little more room and time to play south of I-40, so I decided to roll through Amarillo, making it into town just before 3 o'clock. It was my intention to stop on the south side of town to top off the gas tank as I was approaching about half, but then I got off on I-27 to make that stop. I began to hear reports of a tornado in progress southwest of the town of Happy. Quickly calculating that I could beat the storm to where I thought it would cross I-27, I opted to skip the gas stop, get back on the interstate, and make the 30-mile drive south to get in position on that storm. I hit the Happy exit well ahead of the storm, so I proceeded west on Farm Market Road 1075 across the north side of town and rolled up on the storm as it raised the curtain on easily what was the show of the day.
That is that's a tornado, ladies and gentlemen.
On the lowest floor of a building. Windows and vehicle will occur.
That's a tornado, ladies and gentlemen. That is a large tornado on the ground, folks. Look at a wedge. That is a big tornado in there. Wow. Holy crap, dude. At this point, the tornado was approximately 1¼ miles to my west-northwest, but the RFD, or the winds that wrap around the tornado, were circling around to the south side of this massive wedge. I was on a dirt road that was rained on and was slick as snot, so when those RFD winds wrapped in and hit me, they gave me a little bit of a shove.
The National Weather Service Amarillo has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for eastern Oldham County, Aldridge County, Warwick County, southeastern Berkeley County, until 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. At 3:29 p.m. Central Standard Time, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 7 miles west of Dumas to Valley Dale to 3 miles northeast of Wilbury Hill, moving northeast at 20 miles per hour. Hazard 60 miles per hour in gusts and $5 hail. Source, radar indicated. Impact, minor damage to roof, siding, and trees if possible. Hail damage to vehicles is expected. Locations impacted include Amarillo, Union, Booth, Four-Way, Valley Dale, Boys West, Masterson, Wilbury Hill, and West Meredith. A tornado watch remains in effect until 6 p.m. Central Standard Time for the Panhandle of Texas. A tornado watch also remains in effect until 9 p.m. Central Standard Time for the Panhandle of Texas. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning.
Yeah, that is right up there. Holy cow, dude, that's huge.
Effective, Hardly, Moore, Oldham, and Potter. The current time is 3:32 p.m. Central Standard Time. The National Weather Service Amarillo has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for west central Armstrong County, southern Randall County, until 4:15 p.m. Central Standard Time. At 3:12 p.m. Central Standard Time, a severe thunderstorm was located 11 miles southwest of Happy, or 16 miles northwest of Putin, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. Hazard 2 miles hail and 60 miles per hour impact. Source, radar indicated. Impact, minor damage to roof, siding, and trees if possible. People and animals outdoors will be injured. Expect hail damage to roofs, siding, windows, and vehicles. Locations impacted include Maine and Carrollville County. A tornado watch remains in effect until 6 p.m. Central Standard Time for the Panhandle of Texas. A tornado watch also remains in effect until 9 p.m. Central Standard Time for the Panhandle of Texas. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of the building. To report severe weather, contact the nearest law enforcement agency. Here's a thunder report to the National Weather Service Office in Amarillo. A severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 4:15 p.m. Central Standard Time for the following.
By the time I got back to US 287 north of Happy, the tornado was well off to my north and east, having crossed this highway a couple of miles to my north moments earlier and was likely already across I-27. I went north a couple miles, eventually cutting back toward I-27, where I was stopped by barbed wire that was strewn across the road by the tornado crossing in this area. Fortunately, this guy got there before me and pulled the barbed wire off the road, and we all were able to continue on. When I got back to the interstate, I observed much more significant damage.
Time is 4:24. I am on the east side of Amarillo. One of the drawbacks to not stopping for gas, I didn't get a chance to get all my cameras set. As I was heading down to get gas, tornado was spotted, so I skipped the gas stop and rolled up and basically got within a mile of a massive wedge west of Happy, Texas. Had a satellite came down briefly after that as well. Holy crap. RFD tried to blow me off the road as that tornado crossed the road in front of me here. But we got out just fine. Got stopped by some damage. There was some barbed wire across the road. Kudos to the gentleman who ran out and grabbed that, allowed us all to proceed. A lot of semi-trucks blown down on I-27, power poles down. There was looked like a cell phone tower that was bent in half as well. Just absolutely crazy. We're gonna try to get east of these cells on I-40 and see if we can't pick up a couple more here. I will need to stop for gas. I'm at a quarter of a tank. I really ought to do that now, but I kind of want to get out ahead of these things. Enjoy the $50 fill-up. A little breezy here in McLean, Texas. So, this has been a day. Probably can't hear me. We're squat right now. But yeah, 2 tornadoes. We'll get back to you.
Greetings, everybody. It is 8:45. I am on the north side of OKC, northbound on I-35, so basically the home stretch. The logistical nightmares I thought I was going to have did not have. Yeah, I called it a day after getting gas, despite there still being reports, actually, of a tornado southwest of me. Those storms were looking pretty rain-wrapped and looked like they were lining out pretty quickly, so I thought I would take my wedge and run. So I got a jump start on the drive home. Looks like I'll be, I may even make it home before I were to finish the show had I been working tonight. So that's pretty good. This setup worked out very well. So to wrap it up, 2 tornadoes today. The big wedge, which we saw. And you might be asking, well, Tony, where's the other tornado? Well, let me show you. Watch this. Yeah, that's right. I hit the record button while I was grabbing the camera, and thus it was recording when I lifted it up to shoot the satellite tornado, and then I hit the record button to turn it off. So fortunately that was a little bird fart, but it was there. I promise you it was there. So we'll walk away with 2 on the day. So a beautifully successful chase. In terms of March, easily my best March chase by far. I believe that is the largest tornado I have seen that far west. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, pretty much, thank you very much, Mother Nature, for doing in a day, making today better than the 2018, 19, and 20 season all combined. That's a pretty awesome way to start this season, especially after last year, and really just a couple of slow years. A hell of a way to get started this year. What a night! What a day! Best March chase, awesome. I have not had much luck in March. That was fantastic. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, forgive me, I had bigger plans for this first round. Unfortunately, I got some family emergency news right before I got into the tornado. So I did not get in the mindset to get everything flipped on the way that I wanted. But again, just rotten timing with the news that I got. I think it's going to be okay. I think we're all going to be good. Yeah, everything else was great, but I would say arguably mile-wide wedge will be a good christening for this. Folks, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and tell me what you thought about it in the comments. And if you want to keep the chase going, check out these other 2 chase videos right here on screen, and we'll see you in the next one.